Live from Jackie Robinson Memorial Field, Arroyo Seco baseball is on the air. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to opening day for the Arroyo Seco Saints. I'm Matt Berner alongside Mitch LaFave, and like I mentioned, we bring to you opening day coverage for the Arroyo Seco Saints against the San Luis Obispo Blues. The Saints adorning all white uniforms versus the Blues in gray with blue trimmings. Mitch, tell me a little bit about the atmosphere here.
It is just a beautiful afternoon, beautiful evening, 74 degrees here in Pasadena. Light little breeze blowing out east, flags, perking up just a little bit beyond the center field wall, but beautiful day for some baseball.
Beautiful day for some baseball indeed. Before first pitch, as Drew Atherton is warming up for the Saints, real quick, we're going to dive into the batting lineup for the San Luis Obispo Blues. So leading things off for them is number 26, Ryan Cole. He'll be playing center field. Then right after him is their second baseman, their left fielder, number 4, Julian Berry. Batting third, Tayson Corio. He'll be playing shortstop. No, rather, he'll be playing second base. They wrote their lineups interesting. Corio playing second base, Toby Rumfield playing first. Then at third base is Paucoa. DH is Hansen. Beavers playing right. At shortstop is Mercado. At catcher is Kemps. And on the mound is Harrington. Now here is Mitch with your play-by-play.
Thank you, Matt. On the mound for the Arroyo Seco Saints, Drew Atherton. He delivers that first pitch to Cole, fouls that one off down the right field line. Defensive alignment for the Saints, Atherton's battery mate Thomas McCarthy behind the dish. Tito Robles playing first base, Justin Watari at second. Oscar Serratos at shortstop. Second pitch in for a ball, evens up the count at 1. Over at third base, Morgan Allen. Left field, Andy Garriola. Center field, Nolan Tressler and David Reyna playing right field for the Saints. Third pitch, bounced to second baseman in the hole. Watari could not handle the hop as that bounces into center field for a single. Ryan Cole gets things leading off for the Blues.
I think we can call that a single. I mean, it was a tough play to make. He got his glove over there, but, it's opening day. We'll give that a single.
It's a hard hit ball up the middle. Not a guaranteed play.
So now Julian Berry stepping up to the plate for the San Luis Obispo Blues.
First pitch in from Atherton. Fastball just misses the low and outside corner. Now Berry for the Blues. Hails from Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. Goes to Columbia. He's playing left field for the Blues. Second pitch fouled off high over the third base dugout. Evens up the count at 1.
Berry went 0 for 2 in his last outing. That was last night against the Orange County Riptide. They split that series. It was a 2-game series, 1 apiece. So they're sitting atop the CCL standings, 1-1 each.
Yeah, the Blues have played, 9 games so far this season?
Exactly. They have played 9 games. 7 of them did not count towards the CCL season. But those 7, they went 7-0. In the 2 games that did count towards the CCL season, like I just mentioned, they're 1-1. So they're trying to get their second win of the season here.
Runner goes, hit and run, popped up from Berry. McCarthy comes behind the plate, cannot make the play. It'll be a foul ball. Strike 2.
A lot of guys who never played baseball, a lot of people who never played baseball, don't understand how hard it is to read a foul ball as a catcher. The backspin on that ball just makes it do some crazy dances while up in the air. And right there, I can't really fault McCarthy. It looked like it kind of went right into the sun at first, but that is a play that I suppose collegiate catchers should make.
Yeah, sun setting, behind the plate. McCarthy turning around, to try and read the spin, but also getting the view of the sun. Pitch is lined down the left field line. That'll drop in for a hit. Cole, round second, will get into third, standing up safely, and on the throw to third, Berry will move up to second base.
Second baseman, Tayson Corio, number 43.
Good piece of hitting right there just to go poke it to left field, get the base hit. He ends up on second base. I think they're going to credit him with the double. Unless they want to say that's a single and he advanced on throw. Either way, he moved the runner over to 90 feet away from scoring the first run of the game, and there's still no outs in the first inning.
Yeah, so second and third, as you said, no outs in this inning now for Tayson Corio, second baseman for the Blues. First pitch line to third, caught by Morgan Allen. He steps on third base to double up Ryan Cole. Ryan Cole just taking a bit too far of an extra lead on the pitch. Just caught too far off the base.
And those are hard to read because that was a line drive right back at the hot corner. And they call it a hot corner for a reason because line drives pop off the bat towards third base. It's hard to read as a base runner. You know, your first hesitation is to pause. But at that point, once you've paused, you can't get back in time.
That'll bring up TJ Rumfield now for the Blues. First pitch in from Atherton, called strike one.
Emphatically called strike one by the umpire.
Hear that ringing in the entire stadium. Second pitch in, breaking ball, low and inside. That'll even up the count at 1. Atherton gets set. Kicks and deals. Fastball called strike 2. Count is now 1-2. Runner on second for the Blues. 2 outs in this inning. Defense shifted normally. 1-2 pitch. Cut on and miss for strike 3. Fouled into the catcher's mitt. And that'll do it for us here in the top of the first. Blues pick up 2 hits, but cannot score any runs after the line out. At the end of the inning, 2 hits, 1 man left on base. No runs scored for the Blues, and pick it right back up in the bottom of the first after this. Timeout.
For the Saints, second baseman.
Bottom of the first inning here on opening day for the California Collegiate League season, at least for the Arroyo Seco Saints. San Luis Obispo Blues have already played 2 official games in the league. So Justin Watari steps in for the Saints. Watari, as he takes that first pitch in for called strike 1. Second baseman from the University of New Mexico, the Lobos. Second pitch swung on. Looping liner into center field. Drops in front of Ryan Cole for a base hit.
Saints, third baseman, Morgan Allen.
Good piece of hitting right there from Watari. It looked like that pitch was a little too far in on the hands, but he still was able to get around, get the barrel on the bat, on the ball, and then it found its way out there. You know, it looks like a line drive in the scorebook.
Hey,
You'll take it.
It's a 95-mile-an-hour liner up the middle in my books. That brings up Morgan Allen to the dish. Takes that one outside for ball one. Morgan Allen, a sophomore from St. Edwards out in Austin, Texas. Second pitch fouled back behind the plate and over the stands.
In his freshman year at St. Edwards in Texas, he started 45 games, played in 46, and he hit .331, 6 doubles, 3 triples, 2 home runs with 32 RBI. So this is a guy who knows how to swing the wood.
Cut on and missed for strike 2. One thing I noticed from, looking at the roster, you got guys from all around the country. A lot of it, some California guys, some Cal Poly Pomona, pretty local. But, you got guys stretching all the way out to the East Coast. That ball, hard hit ball to first, snagged by TJ Rumfield on the hop. He'll go the short way to first, try to throw on to second, but Watari will slide in safely.
Number 37.
Did his job, moved the runner over to second base, though. If you were going to hit a ground ball, that's the perfect side to hit it to. Hit it over to first base, make a decision on which play to make.
There's a hard hit ball and just a really good snag from Rumfield at first base. Just kind of backhanded it on the short hop. That first pitch into Tressler's in dirt. Kemp's behind the plate, could not find it. It was pretty much at his feet, but he was kind of looking too far behind. And Watari will move up to third on the play.
Tressler standing 5'9", 190 pounds. Lefty batter, lefty thrower. Lefty swing and a miss on that one. He attended Woodstock High School in Canton, Georgia. He was his team's Offensive Player of the Year in 2016.
A weak grounder over to third that unfortunately will not allow Watari to score on the play.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please.
Pau Koa throws it on to first,
Left
and
fielder, number 9,
Tressler's retired for out number 2 on the inning.
Number 9.
That brings up Andy Garriola, the left fielder for the Blues, for the Saints. He steps in that first pitch. Curveball hung in there for a pitch down the middle that he lines to left field for an RBI hit. And the Saints have taken an early lead in this ball game, 1-0.
Designated hitter, number 15, Thomas Lovano.
Garriola already making his name known as an Arroyo Seco player. You know, we were actually talking about him a little bit before the game, about his talents. The guy hit .328 in his freshman year at Old Dominion. He's a hitting machine, and we just saw why with that RBI single.
First pitch swinging on a curveball as well. That first ball into Thomas Lovano, DH for the Saints. Then for called strike 1.
Another emphatic strike call. I'm really liking this umpire's style. He likes to let everyone in the stadium know that that was a strike.
Lovano hails from the University of San Diego. He pops that one up. Rumfield calls off Corio at second base, and he will make the grab for the final out of the inning. But in the inning, Saints score 1 run on 2 hits Left one man on base. Go to the top of the second here on your home for Arroyo Seco baseball. Top of the second here at Jackie Robinson Field in Pasadena, California. As Duke Paukoa, third baseman for the Blues, steps in to the box. Drew Atherton out here for a second inning of work. First pitch chopped over to third. Allen with the throw over to first. Gets him by about a step. Good play from Morgan Allen to charge that slow roller.
One pitch outs are always your favorite as a pitcher. I mean, obviously you love to strike people out, but one pitch outs mean you do less work. You get through the inning quicker, you get to go sit down, drink some water, put a towel over your shoulders.
Now with that first pitch out from Paukoa, you can expect Nick Hansen probably is going to take this first pitch. As he does take that first pitch fastball in for a called strike one.
Atherton's done a good job of establishing a tempo on the mound so far.
So that second one lined up the middle. That'll be a base hit for the Blues designated hitter Nick Hansen.
Now batting for the Blues, right fielder, number 22, Dylan Beavers, number 22.
So as mentioned, Drew Atherton got the start for the Saints today. He's listed as 5'10", 170. Not necessarily the biggest guy out there on the field, but he can throw pretty hard. With that said, he had 15 appearances at Cal Poly Pomona this past season. He went 2-2 in those with a 3.32 ERA, 13 walks, 17 strikeouts, and 41 1/3 innings pitched. So he's no stranger to the mound.
You mentioned, was it 17 strikeouts in 40 innings pitched?
Yes.
So, not
necessarily
going
a
to blow
strikeout
everything
pitcher.
by you. Pitch to contact guy, a 3.3 ERA, definitely not bad. He's going to be that guy's going to make sure the defense gets its work in.
Right there, he lets the catcher get some work with an almost pass ball.
Evens up the count at 1-1. Dylan Beavers, the right fielder for the Blues. Takes a step out of the box, comes back in. Ditchin steps off the mound, watches Nick Hansen stroll back on over to first base. And we saw in the top of the first, Blues, no stranger to try and get things moving, attempted a hit and run on just the second batter of the game. Atherton just want to make sure nothing is going as that pitch is fouled off into the stands behind the third base dugout. Count is now 1-2. Beaver steps out, gets a sign from his coach. Atherton comes set. Throw over to first. Hansen dives back in safely.
Beavers is one of the 2 players on this Cal Poly, or excuse me, San Luis Obispo roster that were born in 2001. His birthday is August 11th, 2001. He's not even 18 yet.
That's makes me feel old, and by no means am I old.
Hey, you might be.
Almost
But
like
if you're old, I'm old too, so I'm not gonna make that claim.
count now even at 2-2. Pitch blocked in the dirt by McCarthy. Draws the count full.
First full count on the evening for Atherton.
Yeah,
Like we mentioned, he's a pitch to contact pitcher, so you don't see too many full counts with him. You'll kind of see him try and get some sort of ground ball pop-up action early in the count.
With the Blues active, will we see the guy on the move?
No, we won't.
That ball is lined foul beyond the first base dugout.
Interesting to see the runner not on the move. Maybe Nick Hansen doesn't quite have the wheels to get to second base or something, but you'd think with a full count and see the batter swinging, he'd start to take off. Granted, there is only 1 out.
And Atherton has been aware. He's stepped off and picked off. And Hansen goes on the pitch. However, that ball will be low for ball 4.
Your attention, please. Now batting for
Beavers
Blues,
draws the walk.
shortstop, number 3, Ruben.
Runners on first and second now.
Number
Still with 1
3.
out in the inning.
Now, something you see sometimes in this summer league baseball is missed signs. You see that sometimes because, you know, this is not necessarily a player's permanent home, permanent team, right? I'm going to say Nick Hansen missed the steal sign because after he didn't go after that first one, someone from the dugout was yelling his name, and he turned and nodded his head, and then he took off on the next pitch.
Ruben Mercado steps in for the Blues. Takes the first pitch low and outside for ball 1. Yeah, it's just situations sometimes you miss sign. Just look at the coach and just points at you. Run on this next one.
Missed signs were always the worst yellings. Coach would make sure you knew you messed up.
Second pitch from Atherton in for a called strike 1. Evens up the count.
Mercado couldn't help but crack a little bit of a smile there at the umpire's strike call. And I don't blame him.
Like you said, very emphatic.
Emphatic and definitely here to entertain.
1-1 pitch. Cut on and fouled off behind the plate. 1-2 the count. Top of the second here at Jackie Robinson Field. Saints took an early 1-0 lead in the bottom half of the first thanks to an RBI single from Andy Garriola. Atherton deals the 1-2 pitch. Curveball cut on and missed. Strike 3.
Your attention, please. Now batting.
Mercado
for
goes
Blues,
down swinging.
catcher,
It'll now be up to
Brendan
catcher
Kemps,
Brendan Kemps
number 8.
to keep the inning alive for the Blues.
I'm going to say the broadcaster's curse is alive and well, considering the fact we had just talked about the fact that Atherton had 17 strikeouts in 43 1/3 innings pitched, and now he's got 2 in 1 2/3.
First pitch into Kemps. Low for ball 1. And maybe just something that kind of threw the hitter's timing off. He's throwing nothing but fastballs, and then that one hook gets him out in front. The 1-0 pitch. Ball grounded up the middle. Nick Hansen rounds third, heads to home. And that ball is cut off by Watari at second base. That's the back pick, Beavers.
Now
The
batting
run
for
will
Blues,
score.
center
Runners on
fielder,
first and second
number
now
26,
for the
Ryan
Blues.
Cole.
And game tied at 1 on the RBI single from Brendan Kemps.
Well, we did mention Atherton likes to get contact. There he got a ground ball. Unfortunately, it was right up the middle, right back at him. So the defense wasn't able to make a play, wasn't able to stop the run from getting home, but they were able to hold that lead runner at second base.
That brings Ryan Cole to the plate. First pitch in for ball one.
Cole singled in his first at-bat, made it all the way around to third base, but was not able to score. The Blues already in their second time through the lineup now. Definitely making Atherton work to get through the innings.
And so far, Atherton surrendered 4 hits in the game. So he delivers the 1-1 pitch. Curveball inside, ball 2.
After throwing that curveball, you think he has to counter fastball outside, right? He's got the batter's eye level changed inside, off speed inside. You got to go fastball outside, try and get a hack.
2-1 pitch, fastball outside. Cole does not chase. 3-1 the count now.
Well, he went to the pitch I called, but was not able to get the result he wanted. Looked like he missed the spot by a little bit.
And the 3-1 pitch is taken for ball 4. That loads the bases.
Your attention, please. Now
For
batting for the Blues, left fielder.
Blues left fielder
number 4,
Julian Berry.
number 4.
Before Berry steps into the plate, McCarthy will go out, have a little chat with Atherton, tell him to calm down, do what he does best, pitch to contact.
You know, like we've mentioned a couple times, opening day, summer league team, new team for Atherton. There could be some nerves out there on the mound right now. Trying to make a good first impression, but now he's just got to buckle down, got bases loaded, but he's also got 2 outs. He just needs to focus on the batter and get through this in order to get to the end of the inning. On the other hand, Berry, this is the perfect time for him to capitalize. You got all bases filled, you can drive in a couple runs.
First pitch called, ball 1. Berry with a single in his first at-bat. Excuse me. That pitch is in for a called strike 1.
And there's the emphatic strike call. He actually, I believe they ruled it a double in his first at-bat for Berry. He was part of the 2 people that got hits in that first inning.
1-1 pitch. Ball low and outside, fouled off by Berry. Draws a count to 1-2 now.
Well, now here's where you got to buckle down. Got a 1-2 count, 2 outs. You're 1 pitch away from getting out of this inning. Here's where you throw your best pitch and dare the batter to hit it.
Ball high and out, misses high and outside. Draws the count even at 2-2.
Really good eye there from Berry. Not swinging at that. A lot of the times when a batter gets his back into a corner, he'll try and take a hack at that high fastball. Watched it all the way, saw it for ball 2.
The 2-2 pitch from Atherton. Line to second base. Watari fields it on the short hop, tosses it over to Serratos at second base. They will make the final out of the inning before more damage can be done. But in the inning, the Blues score 1 run on 2 hits and a couple walks as well. As we head to the bottom of the second, tied at 1. Stay tuned, you're listening to the official network for your Arroyo Seco Saints. Bottom of the second here in Pasadena at Jackie Robinson Field. As Oscar Serratos, the shortstop for the Saints, steps in. First pitch taken low and inside. Ball actually skips off the catcher's glove. Ball number 1. Second pitch is also taken for a ball. 2-0 the count now. Serratos, infielder, hails from Georgia Tech. He just played in a regional. Ball is popped foul behind the first base dugout.
Serratos, like you mentioned, at Georgia Tech. He just finished his sophomore year, in which he played 36 games, started 34 of them, and batted .246. The guy was also drafted out of high school.
Serratos chops that to Mercado, takes a step back, throws on to first. A little short hop that Rumfield cannot dig out of the dirt. Serratos would have been safe on the throw anyways. Kemp's backing up the throw to prevent Serratos from advancing any farther.
Number 17.
So as I was saying, Serratos was drafted out of high school in the 14th round by the Indians. Cleveland Indians organization chose to go to Georgia Tech, and you know, oftentimes when you bet on yourself, especially when you're drafted in the lower rounds, it tends to work out. So we see Serratos now in the California Collegiate League, and he's on base in his first at-bat. Good things happening for him.
Serratos takes off, first pitch into Tito Robles. Called for a ball, as Serratos will also slide in safely at second with a stolen base. So Saints being aggressive early on in this game. Robles playing first base for the Saints this evening. Takes a big hack at that one. Comes up empty. Evens the count at 1-1.
Robles, the 6'3", 205 first baseman for the Saints. He attended St. John Bosco High School, and now he's at Azusa Pacific.
St. John Bosco's got some bigger names, with the likes of Evan Longoria, moving on to professional baseball.
He's with good company. He's with good company.
Oh, yeah. Two-one pitch taken high for ball 3. 3-1 the count now to Robles. Serratos on second after an infield single and a stolen base.
This is definitely not a batter you want to fall behind on. He's got plenty of power, 12 home runs in his last season.
Takes a hack at that one. Again, comes up empty. That'll draw the count full.
Another interesting fact about Robles, his cousin, Andrew Quezada, is a pitcher in the Colorado Rockies organization. So he's got family ties to the MLB.
The full count delivery. Ball swung on a deep fly ball down the left field line. Will not be in play for Burry to make the catch on it. So count's still full. So big hack at that one.
On cue, too. I just finished talking about his power. You love when stuff like that works out, right?
Oh, yeah.
Makes you look real smart.
Saints looking to regain the lead after the Blues tied it up in the top half of the second. Ball's fouled back behind the plate. Hits one of the poles that puts up the fencing around the plate. Bounces back into the field of play.
Now, although you may be thinking, oh, this is good, get Harrington up in the pitch count, get him out of the game earlier, we were actually informed by the broadcasters for the Blues that they haven't thrown a pitcher more than 3 innings so far this season, and they've played in 9 games.
Like to get their guys some work. The 3-2 pitch taken low for ball 4. Robles draws the walk. Runners now on first and second for the Saints. Brings up catcher Thomas McCarthy.
Number 33.
McCarthy, catcher from the University of South Florida. Again, guys from the East Coast making their way out to the West Coast, play some summer baseball. First pitch into McCarthy. Taken for ball 1. Close pitch, but Kemps couldn't handle it.
McCarthy getting the start behind the plate today.
The 1-0 pitch. Ball in the dirt. Serratos tries to advance to third, and he will. Ball got just far enough away from Kemps. Serratos, good read on the ball in the dirt. He and Robles will both advance a base on the pass ball.
McCarthy, 5'10", 195, bats right, throws right. Just finished his sophomore year at the University of San Francisco.
2-0 pitch. Ball in the dirt again, but the ball will not travel far enough for Serratos to come home on the play. 3-0 the count now.
Good decision making there by Serratos. You know, oftentimes you want to score. You want to be the guy that gets home on a pass ball, but that one just didn't carry far enough away from the catcher. Serratos saw it immediately and went back to the bag.
3-0 the count. Give him the green light. Either way, McCarthy takes it for a strike 1. Really good hitters count, especially in this situation. Second and third have good opportunity to do some damage at the plate. 3-1 pitch. Cut on, chopped over the third baseman's head. Shortstop Ruben Mercado will make the play on it, but he'll hold on to it as Serratos comes in to score. Robles advances to third on the infield single from Thomas McCarthy.
McCarthy did a good job of hitting there, took what he was given. 3-1 count, kind of rolled it, but the chopper was just high enough to get over the third baseman's head, and they get a run out of it. So he does a good job moving the runners and getting one home, taking back the lead for the Saints.
Runners on the corner now for the Saints. First pitch into David Reyna, fouled off behind the first base dugout.
Reyna coming from Arkansas, Monticello. Listed at 5'9", 165.
The 0-1 pitch lined up the middle. Hits of the lip of the grass, and that will hop over Mercado. Ball will drop into center field. As a single from David Reyna drives in another run. Runners now on first and second, and the Saints have a 3-1 lead in this game.
So now it's the Saints' turn to flip their order around. They're back to Watari. He batted leadoff in the first inning. He ended up scoring the first run of the game thanks to his leadoff single. We're going to see if he can keep the line moving. There's no outs here in the bottom half of the second inning. The Saints have already brought 2 home.
Now a visit to the mound. Calm Dan Harrington down a bit.
Smart decision. He's not necessarily getting crushed right now, but oftentimes it's the rinky-dink singles that really bother you. It's the ones that look like they should be able to be played, but just are out of reach, out of eyesight, you know. Those are the ones that really get to you as a pitcher.
That last one, maybe a little unfortunate for the Blues. Mercado had a good read, was going back up the middle for it. Just hit the lip of the grass and the dirt. Just popped over his head. 1-0 pitch back to leadoff batter for the Saints, Watari. Called strike one, even up the count. 1-1 pitch. Line drive to left center field, but Ryan Cole, a center fielder, shading towards that gap, will make the play for out number one.
The Saints, third baseman.
Not a bad piece of hitting, but you know, sometimes you hit it right at them. The Saints were getting lucky hitting it away from everyone, but that time right to a defender. And now we get to see Morgan Allen see if he can get the run home from second. Morgan Allen, the right-handed hitter that starts with a wide base and then kind of does a little toe tap right before pulling the trigger.
Morgan Allen 0 for 1 in today's ball game.
He's also facing an 0-1 count as he calls timeout and steps out of the box.
Allen in his last at-bat hit a sharp grounder to first base that was picked by Rumfield. Went the short way to first. Could not double up Watari at second base, though. 1-1 the count. One pitch. Fouled off. Catcher couldn't hold on to it. Didn't really matter because it wouldn't have been the third strike.
Well, whatever Kemp said to Harrington in their last little mound visit definitely worked. He's turned it around completely, got Watari to line out to center field, and now he's got 1-2 on Morgan Allen. He's a pitch away from getting to 2 outs with only 2 runs home so far.
1-2. Ball in the dirt, blocked by Kemps. Prevent any runners from advancing. 2-2 the count.
And the broadcaster's jinx is alive and well. I always hesitate to say things like that because I know the opposite's coming.
How about Dan Harrington won't give up a home run here?
You were correct.
Oh, cut on and missed. Or sorry, not cut on, missed.
Your attention, please.
Morgan
Now
Allen
batting
caught
for the
looking
Saints,
at that one.
Center fielder.
Pitch on the
number
outside part of the
37,
strike zone.
Nolan Tressler. Number
He walks back
37.
to the dugout. That'll bring up Nolan Tressler.
Tressler also 0 for 1 on the day. Only saw 3 pitches before grounding out to third base. Po'okua making a good play on that one to end the last inning. Or no, excuse me, to get the second out of the last inning.
First pitch in to Tressler, fouled off behind the plate. Just under that one.
Tressler out of Georgia Southern. He was a 2-time perfect game tournament MVP in high school. He also earned second team all-region honors.
Ball flied out to left center field. Julian Burry will call off Cole on that one as he makes the grab for the final out of the inning. But the Saints will get 2 runs back on 3 hits, leaving 2 men on base as they regain a 3-1 lead here in this ball game. Head to the top of the third. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the official network for your Arroyo Seco Saints.
Your attention, please.
Top
Leading
of
off
the third
for the Blues,
here at
number
Jackie
43,
Robinson Field in
Jason
Pasadena,
Corio.
California. As Tayson Corio steps in for the Blues. Second baseman takes the first pitch for ball one. Takes a foul at that off-speed pitch. Bounces off of McCarthy. Rolls all the way over to Allen at third base. Count even at 1-1. 1-2 pitch called strike two. Atherton looking for another quick start to the inning. Ground ball over to first. A little bit of a mishandle by Robles, but he will toss over
Ladies and
to
gentlemen, your
Atherton,
attention, please.
covering
Now
first
batting
for
the
the
Blues,
first out
first
of the inning.
baseman,
A little bit of
number
PFPs.
16, TJ Rumfield. Number 16.
Robles couldn't help but let out a little bit of smile after that one. He's working his glove now. It might have taken a weird bounce out of his glove, but he was able to recover and make the play anyway. So that's one of those that you just kind of have to shake off, say, hey, I made the play, it's all good.
First pitch into Rumfield with another emphatic called strike one. Ball popped down the left field line. Garriola overruns the ball, but makes a sliding recovery, reaches out his glove and makes the catch for out number two.
That's a fantastic recovery out of Garriola. It looked like he had completely run past it, and all of a sudden he kind of just hit the ground and stuck his glove out, and the ball fell right in.
Number 31.
Sometimes that's all it takes.
A little bit of luck can always help out.
Duke Paukoa now steps into the box.
Duke's 0 for 1 so far.
First pitch called strike one. Paukoa in his first at-bat grounded out to Morgan Allen over at third base. Takes a cut at the breaking ball. Comes up empty, 0-2 the count.
Drew Atherton, in his senior year at Crescenta Valley High School, finished 6-1 with a .27 ERA. He pitched 25 1/3 innings in that season.
Ball misses outside. 1-2 the count now. Breaking ball misses low, evens up the count at 2-2.
Well, now you're done wasting pitches. Now you have to attack the batter a little bit here. Try and find the strike zone. Maybe put a fastball on that outside corner.
The 2-2 pitch, line to right field, and that will drop in front of David Reyna. Picks it up on the hop, but Paukoa
Now batting for the Blues,
picks up a
designated
two-out
hitter,
single.
Number 9, Nick Hansen. Number 9.
Nick Hansen scored the only run for the Blues so far as he comes to the plate. He singled in the second inning, came all the way around to score. Now we'll see if he can keep it going.
Tim delivers the first pitch. Breaking ball. Shallow fly ball to center field. Tressler calls off Serratos. Going out there and will make the grab on it for the final out of the inning. So in the top of the third for the Blues, No runs on one hit, left one man on base. Go to the bottom of the third. Your Saints leading 3-1 here on your official network for the Arroyo Seco Saints. Bottom of the third, here Jackie Robinson Field, Pasadena, California. Andy Garriola steps into the box. Drove in the Saints' first run in the bottom of the first with a line drive to left field. Takes that first one for a ball. Garriola only be a sophomore in this upcoming year. Chops that one to third. Paukoa makes a strong throw over to first base. He retires Garriola for out number one.
Your attention, please.
I wonder if Garriola hurt himself a little bit making that sliding play in left field, because it looked kind of like he was favoring that left leg while jogging down the line.
That brings Thomas Lovano to the dish. Popped out to first base in his last at-bat, or his first at-bat. Takes that first one in the dirt for ball one. One 1-0 pitch in there for a called strike one.
Lovano in the game in that designated hitter spot. Batting fifth. His bat was too good to leave out of the lineup. And he watches the 1-1 high and inside. That ball looked like he was going to hit him for a second, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, breaking ball just kind of got away from Harrington. Two-one the count now to the designated hitter. Breaking ball inside as he fights that one off foul. Evens the count at 2-2. And Saints leading this one 3-1 so far here in the bottom of the third. One run in the bottom of the first and two in the second. Looking to add more here as that ball is lined to Rumfield at first. Didn't even move a step.
Now batting for the Saints.
Didn't have to. Hit right at him.
Someone must have read a scouting report.
Number 3.
As I mentioned, though, the Blues don't like to throw their pitchers for more than 3 innings. This is Harrington's 3rd inning of work. My guess is if he gets this guy out, it'll be his last batter.
Serrato steps in. Singled in his first at-bat. Fouls first one off.
Serrato scored the go-ahead run for the Saints in the 2nd inning.
And he singled and then immediately stole second base
And then got to third on a pass ball, I believe, right?
Falls behind quickly, though, 0-2 the count now. Spits on that one, takes it. Ball number 1. The 1-2, cut on and missed for strike 3. For the first time in the evening, the Saints will go down in order. We head to the top of the 4th. Your Saints still leading 3-1 over the Blues. Don't go anywhere. You listen to the official network for your Arroyo Seco Saints.
Leading off.
Top of the 4th here at Jackie Robinson Field. Saints
22.
currently leading the Blues 3-1. Saints making a pitching change as they bring in Cade Bollinger in for Drew Atherton. Atherton thrown 45 pitches through 3 innings. That first pitch from Bollinger in the dirt for ball 1.
Bollinger out of Texas State, 6'6", 190. Tall, lanky frame on the mound.
Second pitch low and inside for called strike 1. One delivery. Called for strike 2. Now Bollinger, a really tall, lanky guy. He's also got the flow going.
That always makes you more intimidating.
Ball grounded over to first. Robles moves over, makes the grab, tosses over to Bollinger, covering first for the first out of the inning.
Number 3.
Another little bit of a bobble out of Robles, but once again he recovers and makes the play. Anyways, as much as we were talking about the Blues only letting their pitchers go 3 innings, Atherton goes 3 innings clean, or rather not clean. Gave up 5 hits, 1 earned, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. That's the final line on Drew Atherton.
One 0 pitch fouled off. A little bit to the left behind the plate. Evens up the count at 1-1. Mercado grounds that over to Justin Watari. Fields it cleanly. Throws it on to first. Tito Robles makes that play for out number 2.
Catcher, number 8. Brendan Kemps,
2 quick outs
number 8.
on the inning. Bollinger so far only needing 7 pitches to get through the first 2 batters. Brings up catcher Brendan Kemps to the plate. Drove in the Blues' one and only run so far this inning, or so far this game, excuse me. Singled up the middle in the top of the second. Bollinger quickly falls behind in the count, 2-0.
Bollinger not only a good pitcher, but in 2018 at Midland College, he hit .384 with a 1.136 OPS. Pretty good for a pitcher.
A little bit of two-way action. 3-0 the count now. You know, we see a lot of, I think it's kind of making a resurgence in the college and professional ranks at two-way guys.
Well, so many good athletes coming out of high school nowadays, it's kind of hard to tell them, hey, you only get to play once every 3 days, 4 days.
And that'll be a 4-pitch walk to
Now
Brendan
batting for the
Kemps.
Blues, center fielder, number 26, Ryan Cole, number 26.
In that same season, Atherton at Midland College pitched 17 1/3 innings, had a 6.32 ERA in 13 appearances. He had 13 strikeouts and 2 saves to boast, but like I said, a 6.32 ERA through 17 1/3 innings, not necessarily the best line.
Ball lined to right field. That'll drop in right in front of David Reyna. Picks it up on a hop. Will get the ball in. Keeps Kemps from advancing to
Your
third.
attention, please. Now batting for the Blues, left fielder, Julian Burry.
Have
Number 4.
yourself a day, Ryan Cole. 2 for 2 with a walk as well. He's made it to third base, then he was stranded, and then he was also stranded at first in the second inning. Now he's standing at first base again. He's reached base in all 3 of his at-bats. We'll see if the Blues can get him home this time.
McCarthy goes over to Bollinger. Give him a few words of encouragement. You know, walked Kemps on 4 straight pitches, and Ryan Cole took advantage of that first pitch, you know, looking for that strike down in the middle. Lined it to right for a single. First pitch fouled off down the left field line, out of play. Runners on first and second for Burry. Bollinger kicks and deals. Fouled off to the right side behind the plate. 0-2 the count. So a good little bounce back so far from Bollinger after a 4-pitch walk and then a line drive single. Jumping ahead 0-2 in the count to Julian Burry. The 0-2 pitch again fouled off the fencing to the left side. Burry not looking to get cheated on this at-bat, fouling off all 3 pitches that he's seen so far. Grounds that 1 to Watari. Bobbles it, but recovers and makes the throw over to Tito Robles at first for the final out of the inning. In the top of the 4th, the Blues get 2 runners, 1 walk, and 1 single, but don't score a run. They leave the 2 men left on. We head to the bottom of the 4th. Saints leading 3-1. Back for the bottom
And
of the
leading off
fourth
for
inning
your
here at Jackie
Saints,
Robinson
number
Field.
17, Tito
Saints
Robles.
currently leading
Number
the
17.
Blues 3-1. Blues have 1 run on 6 hits, but they've left 7 men on base. Saints 3 runs on 5 hits. They've only left 3 men on base. Tito Robles will step in for the Saints. As he fouls off the first pitch from the Blues' new pitcher, Kai Janowitz. Janowitz, a right-handed pitcher from UC Davis. Pitch high and out, misses high and outside, evens up the count at 1-1.
Janowitz had a sub .5 ERA in high school in his senior season. Part of the reason he was so highly touted at UC Davis.
Ball in the dirt, 2-1 the count. Looking at the roster for the Blues. So he goes to UC Davis, but his hometown is San Luis Obispo, so he's playing for one of his hometown teams.
That's perfect. Have a collegiate league in your backyard.
Tito Robles will foul that one off to the third base dugout. 2-2 the count.
Now, we were talking to the broadcasters from San Luis Obispo. They told us the 3 pitchers that the Blues will most likely go to would be Harrington, who started it, Janowitz, who's in now, as Janowitz gets the swing and a miss for strike 3, and then Hodgins, who my guess is will come in for the 7th inning.
Catcher, number 33, Thomas McCarthy. Number 33.
Yeah, they were saying they like to go 3 innings apiece for their pitchers. So far, that might even be the case. What we'll see from the Saints today.
It could be. It could very well be. They're following suit right now.
Thomas McCarthy steps into the box. He singled in his first at-bat of the game.
McCarthy, oh, sorry about that. Go ahead.
Janowitz, just taking a bit too long. McCarthy calls time.
McCarthy struggled in his freshman year at San Francisco. Batted .140 in 27 games, 18 started. He had a .200 slugging percentage. Not necessarily fantastic, but he kind of turned it around this past season. 14 games started, 26 games played, .256 average. Not necessarily fantastic numbers, but for a catcher, that's a good batting average, especially with his defensive abilities.
A good improvement from the year before. And McCarthy, studying politics at the University of San Francisco, chops that one over to Mercado at short. Makes a strong toss over to
Ladies and gentlemen,
first.
your attention, please.
McCarthy
Now
is
batting
retired
for
for the
the
second
Saints,
out of the inning.
Right fielder, David Reyna, number 4.
The Blues have now retired the last 8 batters they've faced collectively. The first 6 of those outs were recorded by Harrington. Now the last 2 recorded by Janowitz.
First pitch into Reyna. Ball 1. Reyna singled in his last at-bat as well. Check swing. Home plate umpire says he went around. 1-1 the count.
Reyna listed as more of a utility player for the Saints.
Broken bat, pop up. Janowitz makes the play on his own. That retires the side here in the 4-0 for the second time in as many innings. Saints go down in order. We head to the top of the 5th. Saints still leading 3-1. Top of the fifth inning here at Jackie Robinson Field. Tayson Corio leading things off for the Blues, takes the first pitch for ball number 1. Sun's starting to set here in Pasadena. Ball is chopped over to Serratos. Makes the toss on over to first base. Retired Corio for the first out of the inning.
Now batting for the Blues, first baseman, number 16, T.J. Rumfield. Number 16.
As I was saying, the sun's starting to set. No more kind of mixed shadow between the pitcher's mound and home plate, as almost the entire infield is now covered in shadow, barring about the second base area. First pitch into Rumfield. Breaking ball in for strike 1.
As you mentioned, sun starting to set, temperature starting to drop a little bit, but there's still a little bit of a breeze if you can see that flag blowing in center field.
That second one in for a called strike 2. The 0-2. Fastball misses high and outside. And I mentioned the breeze. It's been kind of on and off throughout the game. It's nothing too strong. You see the flag at times, picking up just a bit in the wind, out in center field. Nothing really too strong to affect the baseballs, though.
The entire Arroyo Seco dugout wanted the punch out there on that breaking ball on the 1-2, but must have missed just a little outside.
2-2 popped up. Rumfield tosses his bat in frustration. Serratos roams a couple steps into shallow left field to make the grab on that play. It's 2 quick outs now in the inning for Cade Bollinger.
Paukua, 1 for 2 so far on the day. He had a chopper to third base in the second inning and then a single in the third. He was stranded at first, though.
They hit a hard line drive to right field in his second plate appearance. Bollinger falls behind 2-0 in the count. Kind of something we've seen so far in back-to-back innings. 2 quick outs to start the inning and then falls behind the third batter. Oh. That's a breaking ball high and in. Paukoa tried to duck out of the way. Thought it hit his helmet, but no. Hit his bat. She didn't drop from behind his head. Ball rolls up the third base line, and Bollinger quickly goes and picks it up, makes the toss over to first.
I got to be honest, I haven't seen that since Little League.
Yeah.
When the pitch is thrown behind the batter. I've never even seen one of those end up in fair territory before. That's insane.
It's just an odd little play. Paukoa really wasn't expecting it himself. He very late break out of the box. I think maybe he was trying to sell that it hit him, not his bat.
I think he was just in genuine shock. You genuinely don't see that too often.
But that'll retire the side for the Blues in the top of the fifth. As they go down in order, head to the bottom of the fifth, and Matt here will start taking over the play-by-play duty. So stick around for that right here on your official network for Arroyo Seco Baseball.
On Justin.
Welcome back,
Watari,
ladies and gentlemen, to the
number
bottom
1.
half of the 5th inning here. The Arroyo Seco Saints have a 3-1 lead over the San Luis Obispo Blues as the hum of the lights have taken over. We can now watch the first pitch from Janowitz find the strike zone to Justin Watari. Watari 1 for 2 on the day, had a line drive in the 2nd inning. That was caught by the center fielder. The 0-1 low and outside, 1-1 the count now. In the 1st inning, he had a leadoff single, then was moved to 3rd thanks to a double off the bat of Morgan Allen, and then came home. Scored the 1st run of the game. As the 1-1 is chopped foul down the left field line. Watari trying to break the streak. 9 straight Saints batters have been retired. The 1-2 swung on, chopped foul again, right towards the Saints dugout. Watari with a nice compact swing, able to get the bat through the zone very quickly. And he certainly knows how to keep himself alive. The 1-2. This one's lined down the left field line, but it's going to drop foul once again. That one looked like it headed out towards the bullpen. Either way, the count remains 1-2.
Watari just doing a real good job fighting off any close pitch that he's been seeing so far this at-bat.
Janowitz delivers. Watari lines this one. Deep right field. But getting underneath it and making the play is Beavers, and there's one down in the bottom half of the 5th inning.
Batting for the Saints, 3rd baseman, number 20, Morgan Allen.
So good contact off the bat of Watari. Both times he's had good contact. He's ended up out, though, thanks to a line drive to the center fielder and now a fly out to the right fielder. Now Morgan Allen will step up to the plate. I actually was mistaken when I said Allen had a double. He is 0 for 2 so far on the day with a strikeout looking. First pitch to him finds the strike zone as well. The 0-1 once again finds the strike zone, and you know, Allen's got a weird batting stance. He kind of keeps the bat rested on his back shoulder. It's almost parallel to the ground. The 0-2 delivery, chopped into right field. It's going to touch grass and get past Beavers. He's going to round first, go towards second. The ball is still on the ground. Now here comes Allen rounding second for 3rd base. He's going to stop there. And, you know, I imagine they're going to have to give him a single with a 2-bag error because that might have been the weakest triple I've seen in a while, but it doesn't matter because Morgan Allen turns his fortunes around, gets his first hit on the season, and he ends up on 3rd base, 90 feet away from adding on to this Saints lead.
Just kind of fought that pitch off, low and away, looped it into right field. Beavers trying to make a sliding catch, just couldn't quite reach it, got by him, kept rolling, and Morgan Allen, good speed getting all the way over to 3rd.
So now the first pitch to Tressler, fouled straight back. That Allen single, as I'm going to call it, I'm the new official scorekeeper now. That's a single with a 2-bag error. Either way, that single off the bat of Allen ends a streak of 10 straight Saints batters that were retired by the Blues. Well, I'm being informed that our official...
According to our official scores, going to give that one a triple.
All right, well, a triple to right field for Morgan Allen is his first hit on the season. You can't argue with me. That's the official scorekeeper's call. So now Tressler finds himself 1-2. He was 1-1, but fouled off that 1-1 approach. One down here in the bottom half of the 5th inning.
I don't think Allen will complain at all about that call, though.
Me neither. Something tells me he'll be quite happy to see that 3B in the box score. The 1-2, low and inside. 2-2 the count now. Tressler also 0 for 2 going into this at-bat. The 2-2 delivery from Janowitz, foul tip, straight back. And Tressler would take a couple steps out of the batter's box, fix his gloves, adjust his helmet as Janowitz heads back towards the mound.
Umpire also going over to the home dugout, get some more baseballs.
Janowitz shaking off a couple signs. Gets the one he likes, the 2-2 delivery. In the dirt, 3-2 the count. Trying to get a chase on that breaking ball.
Tressler again just putting together a really good at-bat. Been fouling off multiple pitches, taking anything that's obviously out of the zone. Just work the count full.
Full count. He does have a runner 90 feet away from scoring.
With the infield back, just looking for a ground ball, really.
Payoff pitch, fouled straight up, straight back, as it lands about 6 or 7 rows back in the bleachers behind us, bounces over everybody, and ends up somewhere in the park that we're bordering. So the count remains full.
Funny trend in this at-bat. It's been a foul, and then a ball, and then a foul, and then a ball, and then a foul, and then a ball, and then a foul.
And then a foul.
But breaks the trend, fouls off one more. And Tressler's just not going to get cheated in this at-bat.
Once again, he's getting the pitch count up, but as we've heard, the Blues don't like to throw their pitchers more than 3 innings, so the pitch count not necessarily the biggest factor. As Tressler bounces one to short. He'll be retired, but the run comes home, and the Saints boost their lead to 4-1 over the San Luis Obispo Blues, as Tressler gets an RBI ground out.
Left fielder, Andy Garriola, number 9.
And now Andy Garriola will step up to the plate. He is 1 for 2. He had an RBI single in the first inning. Then he grounded out to third base in the third inning. Now we'll see what he can do in the bottom half of the 5th. First pitch to him, finds the strike zone, and Garriola looks a little frustrated walking away from the box.
Going back to that at-bat with Tressler, just working a long count. With the infield playing back with 1 out, really benefited from hitting that ground ball to shortstop.
That he did. That's probably where the deepest player was playing. I mean, usually you don't see the shortstop creep up, especially when the game is already in favor of the team at the plate, as Garriola fouls off the 0-2 off his own elbow. So he'll stay alive. Garriola having a little bit of a brutal day on his body. Had to make a sliding catch in foul territory earlier in the game, and now fouls it off his own elbow. The 0-2 just outside. I thought the umpire was going to ring him up because he started to make a noise, but I guess he was just very emphatic about that ball call. So now the 1-2. Janowitz delivers. Grounded towards short. Fielding it and making the play is Mercado, and that'll be 3 outs now in the bottom half of the 5th inning. So we'll head to the top half of the 6th. Arroyo Seco adds another one onto their lead. They're up 4-1. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Arroyo Seco Baseball on the official network of Arroyo Seco Saints. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the top half of the sixth inning. The Saints added another run to their lead. Now they're up 4-1 as Bollinger will go into his third inning of work. But we're joined by a special guest, Justin Kleinsword. You know, he's in the bullpen tonight. He's got an off day, but he'll be out there quite soon. Justin, you just finished your first year of college baseball. How does that feel? Not a lot of people get to do that.
I mean, yeah, it's a big transition going into the first year of college. There you go.
Good piece of hitting. Lines it down the right field line. It'll drop. And it looks like that's going to be a leadoff double off the bat of Nick Hansen.
It feels great having the first year under your belt, then transitioning into summer ball, which it's going to be a lot of great experience and a good time.
Now, what exactly? A lot of people come into college ball with some sort of goal. What is your goal for this summer?
This summer is just to see where I match up against some really good players from around the nation, and just can come out to the field every day and just compete, just leave it all out there.
Now, see your college teammates with Colin King, as well as, he's on the Saints. He was on the team last year. Was, the friendship between you guys, like, did he convince you to come out here and join the Saints, or how did that work out?
It was kind of both. He definitely had a little say in it, kind of persuaded me a little bit, but I think it was a good choice, and just to get closer to him, it's going to be a good summer.
I'm sure that definitely helped convince you to come out here as the first pitch to Beavers was fouled straight back. Now, if I'm not mistaken, you are from Texas. Is it kind of weird playing summer ball outside of Texas? Because, Texas has a lot of good baseball leagues as well, but California Collegiate League, it's definitely a prestigious league. Is it weird coming to California?
No, it's not too weird. Other than the weather, it's about the same. It's been great every day, though. Temperature's been perfect, and it's just a great place to play summer.
You definitely brought the good weather with you. This is the coldest I've ever felt it this late into the year, as the 1-1 gets through the legs of McCarthy, and then Hansen takes advantage to move over to third base. Now, Justin, a lot of pitchers have a favorite pitch. What is your favorite pitch to throw?
It'd definitely be the curveball.
The curveball?
Yeah.
What about it makes it so special? As Beavers pops this one up in foul territory, making the play, though, is Morgan Allen, and now there's one down in the top half of the sixth inning.
Yeah, it's just fun to be able to have a pitch you can manipulate and move across the zone and keep the hitters off balance.
That's got to be. I mean, I didn't pitch too often in my career, but when I did pitch, I loved to throw the curveball. There's just something about making a batter swing through a pitch like that that's satisfying.
Absolutely.
As the first pitch to Mercado is fouled out of territory. Now, once again, this is a fairly new program in the CCL, the Arroyo Seco Saints. This is their third season in the California Collegiate League as Mercado lines this one up the middle. That's going to bring in Hansen, as Mercado has an RBI single here in the bottom half of the sixth inning, and that's the first run that the Blues have scored since the second inning.
Number 8, Brendan Kemps. Number 8.
What does it feel like? Like I was saying, it's a new program. What does it feel like knowing you're helping build something here?
It's definitely feels great to be a part of something. It's a work in progress. Be a part of that. Just helping the team get their name out there, a little more exposure. It's a good feeling.
Okay, now we're going to step away a little bit from the baseball questions here. Going to ask you a personal question. If you had to choose one meal to have before you knew you were going to come in a high leverage situation, what would the meal be?
Chipotle.
Chipotle?
Yeah.
What from Chipotle?
Burrito.
Oh, okay. I like that answer. I like that answer a lot. You're a guy after my own heart. Oh, man. So we talked a little bit about your favorite pitch, curveball. We talked about knowing you're helping build something and everything. What really was it that brought you out to play for the Arroyo Seco Saints?
It has to be just playing in Southern California and the great weather that's here every day. A great place to play summer baseball.
You a surfer?
I'm not, unfortunately.
You're not a surfer? It's
no.
okay. I've lived here my whole life, and I'm not a surfer. as the 1-2 is swung on and missed by Brendan Camps. And now there's 2 down in the top half of the 6th
Your
inning.
attention, please. Now batting for the Blues.
Is it
Center fielder,
Is
number
it
26,
hard to build
Ryan
relationships with
Cole.
guys when you just meet them first thing over summer? You know, you show up, then all of a sudden, a week later, you're playing games with them. Is it hard to build relationships, or does that kind of come naturally?
It kind of comes naturally.
We apologize for the brief technical issues. I believe we've got everything back online. Now go ahead.
It comes naturally. The process definitely speeds. It's a quick process, but the guys are kind of starting to gel together a lot better than we did the first couple days. So that's good.
That's always good to hear. I'm not sure if you guys can pick that up. For some reason, Justin's mic just randomly cut out. But what I can tell you right now is Justin said that the Saints are gelling a lot better now. He said it kind of didn't necessarily come too naturally, but it's definitely better now than it was the first few days. There's an 0-2 count on Ryan Cole right now, who is 2 for 2. He's reached base in all 3 of his at-bats. Now, final question. Do you have a question, Mitch?
I think you're kind of handling it pretty well.
All right, then I'm going to go into my final question here. As the 0-2 misses to Ryan Cole. Now, I've got here, I'm sure you can see, I've got some notes on you. I did my homework on you a little bit. In this past season, you 1-5, not a great record, but you had 14 appearances. You struck out 40 people in 43 and 2/3 innings. What do you attribute that to?
I'd probably attribute to just like
Interesting. Our mic once again cut out. Once again, we apologize for the technical difficulties. Right as I asked that question, though, Ryan Cole gets another hit, his 3rd hit of the game. It's an RBI single, and now the Blues draw within 1 run. The score is 4-3. Just real quick, Mitch, do you mind if we borrow your headset just so I can finish asking a
Not
couple
at
questions?
all.
Cole takes off, steals the bag cleanly, and we will see a runner in scoring position with 2 outs here in the 6th inning. We apologize once again, ladies and gentlemen, for all the technical difficulties. Now, what do you attribute your strikeout potential to?
I'd probably attribute that to probably my breaking ball slider. Having good pitches late in the counts when I'm ahead. It's a good strikeout pitch for me, so it worked well.
Okay, now you're seeing your teammate out there struggling a little bit. Bollinger, he's given up 2 runs this inning. Now he's down 2-0 on Julian Burry. What would you say to him? If you had the chance to walk out there and say one thing to him, what would you say to him?
I'd just say continue to believe in yourself. You're a great pitcher, and just don't change anything. Just keep competing out there. That's all you can really do.
Now, it looks like he's missed a couple times with his fastball recently. Do you have any pitch recommendations as he gets a line drive down the left field line? Cole's going to round 3rd. He's coming to score. Burry's going to round 1st. He'll be standing there at 2nd base with an RBI double. And just like that, the Blues have tied things up. It's 4-4 here in the top half of the 6th inning.
Please, now batting for the Blues, first baseman.
Yeah, no, I just if I had to make a recommendation, it'd just be to keeping them off balance. I know he has a really good changeup, so mix that in there a little more and just keep them on their toes.
Well, now we're seeing a coach head out there, have a little quick chat with him. Do you think that's probably exactly what he's going to say to him? Hey, you know, you're good. You got here for a reason. Just kind of believe in yourself, buckle down, throw the pitches you want to do.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he has the talent to play in this league. That's obviously why he's here, so just believe in himself.
Now, going back to your high school days a little bit, you were named your team's MVP once. You also were named the Player of the Week by Dallas Morning News. Now, I'm not familiar with how Dallas Morning News handles their Player of the Week, but did that mean you had like a little special on the news?
No, it was a newspaper article.
It was you're still in the news.
Couple things online, but yeah, that was from a couple good games I strung together.
Do you remember that article? Do you still have it printed out, cut out somewhere?
Somewhere. I don't know exactly where, but
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Had I had an article saying I was the player of the week, I would have it hung up in my room somewhere right now.
yeah.
First pitch to Tayson Corio in the dirt, 1-0 the count. Now, Justin, we really appreciate you coming on the broadcast here, having a quick chat with us. Mitch and I can get kind of bored of our own voices every once in a while. It's good to have someone mix in. But it's also really good to have someone who is out there on the field, you know, with these guys in the dugout, able to kind of see into their minds a little bit better than we can. It's 4-4 now. You know, the team just blew a 3-run lead this inning. What do you think the mentality in the dugout is right now?
I think it's just to win every inning, take it one pitch at a time. It's really all you can do from here going forward.
Lined in between third and short. Coming home to no throw is Julian Burry, and he'll score easily thanks to the RBI single off the bat of Tayson Corio. And now the Blues have their first lead of the game, 5-4 here in the top half of the sixth. And Bullinger is really struggling out there on the mound.
Number 16, TJ Rumfield. Number 16.
Now, as a pitcher, does it hurt you to watch innings like this, thinking, hey, you know, maybe I could find a way to help?
I mean, maybe give them a little boost of confidence whenever they're in the dugout. But you know, everyone's been in those shoes where you're not having the best outing, and you just got to continue to have confidence in yourself and know that you're good.
Now, if you had one thing to say to all the little kids that are out there watching baseball, all the little kids that are trying to make it to the California Collegiate League, trying to play college baseball, what would your advice be to them?
It'd be just to have fun playing the game. You know, you started playing the game for a reason. Just don't lose sight of that, and just continue to work as hard as you can every day.
Ladies and gentlemen, pitching change for the
We're going to
Saints.
see a pitching change for the Saints, and we're actually going to take this time to use a timeout for our broadcast as well. At this time, I'd like to thank Justin Kleinsorge for coming on the broadcast. Thank you for joining us and allowing us to ask you some questions. I know we had some technical difficulties that made it, well, I guess I could say difficult to get this interview through. But once again, I appreciate you coming on the broadcast. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, guys.
Appreciate you. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. 2 outs here in the top half of the sixth inning. 5-4 the score in favor of the Blues. They've tacked on 4 this inning as James Robertson will check into the game for the Saints. His first pitch low and outside, ball 1. Robertson out of Emory University in Georgia. He played at Notre Dame High School in California. And his 1-0 is grounded to third base, fielded, and thrown over to second for out number 3. So right there, Allen making the play, throwing it over to Watari, and the Saints are finally out of the top half of the sixth inning, an inning in which they surrendered 4 runs and gave the lead back to the Blues, or rather to the Blues for the first time in the game. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back for the bottom half of the sixth inning. The Blues currently lead the Saints 5-4. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the bottom half of the sixth inning. 5-4 the score in favor of the Blues. Thomas Lovano will step up to the plate for the Saints to try and turn things around. As we heard Justin Kleinsorge say last inning, try and win every inning. That's the mentality in the bullpen right now, in the dugout right now. So the Saints will have to tack on 5 runs in the bottom half of the sixth to win this sixth inning. But I'm sure they'll settle for taking the lead back as Lovano swings through the 0-1 delivery. The 0-2 delivery to the designated hitter. Lined over the head of the second baseman, dropping in front of the right fielder, and Lovano's on board with a leadoff base hit. That's Beavers who ended up fielding the ball in right field, and now the Saints have something going.
Saints, shortstop Oscar Serratos, number 3.
Oscar Serratos stepping up to the plate, as we mentioned a couple times already. This man was drafted out of high school, chose to go to Georgia Tech, and now he's got a chance to prove his abilities here in opening day for the Saints in the California Collegiate League. First pitch to him finds the outside part of the plate. 0-1 the count. As I mentioned before, briefly, the lights are on here at Jackie Robinson Field. The humming has kind of taken over the crowd noise. 0-1 swung on and missed. Moves the count to 0-2. Kind of looked like Serratos was a little fooled by that one.
Serratos currently plays at Georgia Tech, originally from Los Angeles.
The 0-2 was swung on and missed, so Serratos strikes out swinging. But in the chaos, Lovano moves over to second base with a stolen base. And now coming to the plate is Tito Robles with a runner in scoring position.
Number 17, Tito Robles, number 17.
One down, Lovano on second. Janowitz out of the stretch. Gets his sign. Now he delivers the first pitch to Robles. Robles watches it for strike one on the inner portion of the plate. And now he's down in the count 0-1. The breeze has completely died here in Pasadena, as we can see that flag just kind of folded down, laying down. 0-1 in the dirt. Good block right there by Kemps to keep the ball in front of him, and now the count moves to 1-1.
It's really important for Kemps to be able to get that block. Because if Lovano is able to get to third, with one out, easy chance for the Saints to be able to tie the game up.
Ones across the scoreboard as far as balls, strikes, and outs. The 1-1 delivery swung through and missed by Robles, and now it's 1-2. Janowitz has definitely had himself a fairly decent outing. Given up 1 run thanks to that 1-out triple off the bat of Morgan Allen last inning. But he's retired all but 2 batters he's faced so far. The 1-2 in the dirt. Robles says no thank you, and the count is even at 2. You can tell the sun went down and the temperature's starting to drop by looking over to the dugouts. And you'll start to see a whole lot more sweatshirts arise from the players. And we just get to sit here and envy them because I'm not sure about you, but I forgot my sweatshirt at home.
Yeah, I didn't bring mine either.
The 2-2 delivery. Swung through and missed. Looked like the same pitch that got Serratos to swing through on the 0-1 count. So now it's back-to-back strikeouts for Janowitz. And now McCarthy will come up to the plate, 2 down. And once again, there is a runner in scoring position, Thomas Lovano on second base. The dimensions here at Jackie Robinson Field are certainly interesting, to say the least.
That's one way to put it.
Its shallowest part is right field, down the line, 345 feet, as Janowitz looks Lovano back at second base. then the second shallowest place, I guess, the middle place, would be middle. It'd be straight middle, dead center, 364. The deepest part of the ballpark is down the left field line, 374 feet down the left field line, as the first pitch to McCarthy misses a little bit inside.
I don't know. I couldn't imagine that. When I was in my playing days, playing left field, having just that much space, it's just got to be kind of weird to play.
Definitely seen a couple struggles from the outfielders so far. 1-0 finds the strike zone on the outside portion. As we briefly mentioned earlier, Andy Garriola had to make a sliding play over there in left field. So definitely the untraditional shape of this ballpark can play games with the outfielders. The 1-1 to McCarthy. He takes that one a little high, a little outside. And now Janowitz is behind in the count, 2-1. Someone from the Blues dugout just yelled deep breaths to Janowitz. Let him know you've got this, just calm down. The 2-1, grounded right back to Janowitz. He fields it, flips it over to first base for out number 3, and he gets himself out of the jam. So once again, leadoff single stranded at second base. That was Thomas Lovano stranded at second base, and the Saints were unable to counter the 4 runs that were scored in the top half of the 6th inning. So we will head into the 7th inning. 5-4 is still your score in favor of the Blues. Don't go anywhere. You're listening with Matt Berner and Mitch LaFave on the official network of Arroyo Seco Baseball. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the top half of the 7th inning. Duke Paukoa leading things off for the Blues. He will go up against the new pitcher that came into the game. That's James Robertson. He got the last out in the last inning. So the final line on Bollinger, who came out right before Robertson came in, was 2 2/3 innings pitched, 6 hits, 4 runs, 4 of them earned, 1 walk and 1 strikeout. As the 1-0 to Paukoa finds the strike zone, 1-1 the count. Robertson delivers a nice bender right there, gets the swing and miss, and now it's 1-2. Paukoa, 1 for 3 so far with a single in the 3rd inning. He was left stranded at first as Robertson delivers another curveball. This time it gets past McCarthy and goes to the backstop. 2-2 the count.
Now, one interesting thing I've noticed between Drew Atherton and Cade Bollinger is taking using the scorebook app on my iPad.
Paukoa goes down looking.
Your attention, please. Now batting for the Blues,
Go ahead.
Designated hitter, number 9, Nick Hansen.
Atherton and
Number
Bollinger, actually, they both faced 15 batters. They both had 45 pitches, both 29 strikes and 16 balls.
Wow. Talk about consistency.
Now, unless I accidentally scored something wrong, that's pretty crazy.
That is pretty crazy, as the first pitch to Nick Hansen misses high and outside. Hansen scored the first of the 4 runs that were scored in the 6th inning. 1-0 finds the strike zone 1-1. One one. Robertson delivers in the dirt. Now it's 2-1. Robertson 6 foot 190, gets a swing and a miss on the 2-1, and now it's 2-2. Hansen turned around in frustration there. Two-two in the dirt. And now it's Robertson who turns around in frustration. So the count is full thanks to that breaking ball in the dirt. In 10 appearances in 2019 at Emory, Robertson had a 3.93 ERA in 50.1 innings pitched, 50 1/3 innings pitched. He also had 37 strikeouts, as the full count pitch was fouled straight back by Hansen. Three-two delivery. That one finds the strike zone, and Hansen set back to the dugout looking.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please. Now batting.
And now there's 2 down in the top half of the 7th inning.
Brock Mortensen.
So back-to-back
Cuesta
strikeouts looking,
Brock
and
Mortensen,
Robertson is
number 5.
moving. So now a substitution into the game. First pitch to the new batter, misses just outside, ball 1.
Got Brock Mortensen filling in now for Beavers in right field.
And now Mortensen up in the count 2-0. The 2-0 popped high in the sky, might stay in fair territory. No, it's very foul. I couldn't see that one. The pole got in the way, but that's okay. So he fouls that one off, 2-1 the count. Now Mortensen will get another crack at it.
Mortensen, a SoCal guy from Ventura, California. Goes to Cuesta College, coincidentally up in San Luis Obispo.
Bunch of local guys on this Blues team. He fouled off the 2-1, so now the count is tied at 2. Robertson 1 pitch away from getting out of this inning. 2-2 delivery, lined into shallow left center. It touches grass, and Mortensen's going to round first. He's going to take a couple hard steps and have to head back to first base, though. Good job fielding that one by Tressler and getting it in. So he has a 2-out single to keep things alive in the top half of this 7th inning.
Please, now batting for the Blues, shortstop, number 3, Ruben Mercado.
So
number
now
3.
Ruben Mercado steps up to the plate. He is 1 for 3 so far. He struck out swinging in the 2nd, grounded out to second base in the 4th, and had an RBI single in the 6th. He grounds one over to third base, making the play and throwing over to second base for out number 3 is Morgan Allen. And just like that, the side is retired here in the top half of the 7th inning. No runs added, however, 1 hit added to the total for the Blues as they hold their lead 5-4 going into the bottom half of the 7th inning.
Fielder David.
Welcome back,
Reyna.
ladies and gentlemen, to the
Number 4.
bottom half of the 7th
Let's hear it
inning.
for
5-4 the score, still in favor of the San Luis Obispo Blues over the Arroyo Seco Saints. But stepping up to the plate is David Reyna, trying to change things. New pitcher in the game for the Blues. That's Noah Bullard out of Ventura College. First pitch from him, fouled straight back by Reyna. And now the count is 0-1. So the final line for Janowitz. He gave up 1 run, 1 earned, 3 strikeouts, as Bullard gets another swing and miss, and now there's 0-2 to David Reyna. The 0-2 delivery from Bullard. Taken, low and outside, ball 1. As I was saying, the final line for Janowitz, 3 innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 run, 1 earned, no walks, and 3 strikeouts. One, 2 from Bullard. Out of the windup, little high, little outside. Counts even at 2.
Good bounce back so far from Reyna. Started the at-bat real aggressive, fouled off the first pitch, swung and missed at the second. Good job holding back on the third pitch, and now was able to completely hold off on that last one.
2-2, high, but gets the swing out of Reyna, and he'll retire him swinging.
Your attention, please.
One down
Now
here in
back
the bottom
for
half of the 7th.
How many times have we
Second
talked
baseman,
about the
number
announcer
1.
curse?
Watari.
It happens plenty of
Number
times. It
1.
happens plenty of times. You know, that time I was kind of shocked to see Reyna pull the trigger on that pitch because he had just watched one a few pitches ago in that same exact spot. Regardless, here comes Justin Watari for his 4th at-bat. He's 1 for 3, but he's made solid contact with the ball every time. First pitch to him, little high, ball 1. The 1-0. Watari watches it. Once again, high and outside. Bullard's 2-0. Taken once again high, and Bullard's got to figure out how to finish his pitches a little bit. He's left everything high. Got a swing at Reyna, but it looks like Watari's not going to give him that.
And especially Watari is one of the smaller guys on the lineup too, so it's not. Got to get the ball a bit lower.
He does, in fact, get the ball lower, but he misses outside. Now Watari has a 4-pitch walk, and he's on board with 1 down here in the top half, bottom half of the 7th inning, and Morgan Allen will step up to the plate. Allen was credited with a triple in his last at-bat in the 5th inning, came around to score thanks to a chopper off the bat of Nolan Tressler. That's his only hit so far this game. He's 1 for 3. He had a ground out to first, a strikeout looking, and of course that triple. So now with 1 down, Watari on first. First pitch to Allen, finds the strike zone. And you have to be taking until you get a strike at that point if you're Allen. You never swing until you have a strike after the batter in front of you has walked on 4 pitches. So Allen does a good job there, takes till he got a strike. Now Bullard up 0-1, delivers. This one's chopped foul down the third base line. Watari was going, but he'll have to jog back to first base.
Saints going for a hit and run on that play. Good job from Allen, kind of fight that pitch off. Ideally, when you're a right-handed batter on a hit and run, you want to hit that through the right side. The big hole that the second baseman made, that pitch was inside. Good job just kind of fouling it off.
Now up 0-2. Bullard out of the stretch. Delivers. High and outside. Looked like a pitch out trying to get Watari. Watari read through it. Stayed home at first. And now the count is 1-2. Bullard delivers. Watari was running. Bullard slaps it through the right side of the infield. Watari's going to third now. He's going to have to slide to beat the throw. The throw is wild. Watari gets up and he will jog home. As the ball goes out of play, Morgan Allen gets to go to third base. Or no, excuse me, they're letting him go home. So Morgan Allen on a little slap through the right side of the infield scores Watari and himself. And now the Saints are back up 6-5. Thanks to the bat of Morgan Allen.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Now
I'm intrigued to see what our official stat keepers are going to call that.
Nolan Tressler, number 37.
Why do I have a feeling our official stat keepers are going to call that a home run?
It was a perfectly executed hit and run. Runner goes, ball hit through the right side, easily would have gotten him to third. And I think, the umpires are talking about it now, but I think they granted Allen home on that because he was already at second by the time that ball got thrown out of play because he had a good read on the throw over to third.
I was wondering why they were going to let Allen score as well. You usually only get one bag when the ball goes out of play. So they will send Allen back to third. My statement earlier is wrong. The Saints will not be up 6-5. And I have to thank once again, the official stat keepers for keeping me in the loop there. You're welcome, Ryan. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot that goes on to make this broadcast possible, and we'd like to thank everyone that's chipped in. A big help has been Ryan Winters. He's been doing a great job keeping the stats.
Your attention please. Ruling on the field is runner needs to go back to third base.
As we get the official ruling on the field, once again, Morgan Allen back to third base. The score drops back down 5-5, and the Saints are 90 feet away from taking the lead back. So now coming up to the plate is Nolan Tressler. First pitch to Tressler. He takes that one low and outside for ball one.
He was in an identical situation back in the 5th inning, I believe it was. Runner on third, one out, but this time infield's playing in. Don't want to give up that lead run this late in the game.
Tressler puts a good cut on it. Foul. It looks like it hit someone in the dugout. Absolutely no reaction, just a little bit of a smile and kind of waves it off. I believe that's one of our interns.
Nerves of steel from the camera women.
Absolutely no hesitation. She's completely okay. That's always good to see. Now the 1-1 taken for strike two. Going back to that Morgan Allen hit, I'm gonna go ahead and give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm gonna give him a two-bagger with one base given off the error. So I'm gonna call that an RBI double as Tressler watches the 1-2 bounce in the dirt. And once again, the Blues having good catching to keep the ball in front. Kemp's definitely getting his money's worth behind the plate. Count 2 apiece. Delivery from Bullard. Finds the strike zone and gets him looking, as that's out number 2 here in the home half of the 7th inning. Nolan Tressler goes down looking, and he is now 0 for 4 on the evening.
Number 9, Andy Garriola.
That's really not ideal for the Saints. Not only do you strike out looking, you don't put the ball in play, give your guys a chance to take the lead. Rough at bat.
Now Andy Garriola coming up to the plate. 1 for 3 so far. RBI single in the first inning. Watches the first pitch for ball one. He also grounded out to third and to short so far. Delivery from Bullard. He takes this one low and outside, and now 2-0 is the count. Saints with that go-ahead run 90 feet away. Really trying to get something going, try and get the lead back on their side. 2-0 from Bullard. Cracked up the middle, lined up the middle, and it's going to drop. Coming home to score is Morgan Allen, and just like that, Andy Garriola has 2 RBI singles so far tonight, and the Saints are up 6-5.
Thomas Luvano, number 15.
Just a great piece of hitting from Garriola. Spits on 2 low and outside pitches and just drives a 2-0 fastball right up the middle. Second RBI and gives the Saints the lead once again.
Defensive substitution.
And now
Charlie Harrigan.
either
running.
a pinch runner or the public address announcer announced it as a defensive substitution, but I think it's just a pinch runner for right now. Charlie Harrigan into the game for Garriola. A little bit of a conversation going on between Bullard and the second base umpire. They made him throw the baseball back into the dugout. I believe the umpire was saying that Bullard spit on the ball or something to add extra spins to it. I'm not entirely sure what happened, but he made Bullard throw the ball away and then give him a nice little talking to. So now Luvano will step up to the plate. First pitch to him, just inside, 1-0 the count. Luvano 1 for 3. Both of his outs have been to first base. As the 1-0 misses low, 2-0 the count. Bullard really struggling with his command so far this inning.
Yeah, Luvano's hit the ball hard a couple of times. He popped out to first, but he's had a hard hit single, and then that line drive to first base where first baseman was just kind of standing still right at him.
Hit the ball hard, but like you said, right at the first baseman as Luvano swings through this one, a little off balance after the cut. Count moves to 2-1.
It's what we in the business call a daddy hack on 2-0. Swinging for the fences on that one, trying to put the Saints up 3.
2-1 delivery, takes this one low and inside. Once again, Kemp's doing the best he can to keep the ball in front of him. He does so. 3-1 the count. So now Bullard in a little bit of a pickle. The 3-1 out of the stretch. Luvano chops it to shortstop, making the play and throwing him out is Mercado, and that'll be out number 3 in the bottom half of the 7th inning. But the Saints strike and they add 2 more to their run total. They currently have a 6-5 lead as we head into the 8th inning. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Opening Day for the California Collegiate League with Matt Berner and Mitch LaFave on the official network of Arroyo Seco Baseball. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the top half of the 8th inning. First pitch from Robertson. Missed the strike zone, 1-0 the count. Now he delivers the 1-0, gets a swing and a miss that time, and that ties the count at 1. One inside, trying to hang a breaking ball in that inside corner, just missed. 2-1 the count. Robertson entering his second complete inning as he misses low, and now the count is 3-1. Brendan Kemps, the catcher, done a great job behind the plate so far for the Blues, trying to get something going with his bat. He's 1 for 2 going into this at bat, gets strike 2, and now the count is full.
I noticed Kemp's going with the old classic look with the no batting gloves with the wood bat league.
The 3-2 misses, and Kemps will get a free walk over to first base. And, you know, they don't say it too often anymore, but my coaches used to drill it into my head. Leadoff walks always come back to hurt you. We're going to see right now if Robertson can escape from that destiny. But leadoff walks, it's pretty much a self-fulfilling prophecy. First pitch to Ryan Cole. He shows bunt, puts down a good one down the first base line, fielded and thrown over. He's safe. So he beats out the bunt for a base hit, and now there's runners on first and second, no outs. There was a little bit of miscommunication between the Saints players.
Your attention, please. Now
Yeah, it's kind of just a perfectly placed bunt, just in that little no man's land between the pitcher, first baseman, and second baseman. And, you know, just with the two different guys covering, just kind of a tough play.
So now Julian Burry will step up to the plate. His team down 1, but there's a runner in scoring position, 2 men on total. McCarthy calls timeout, calls out a sign to his infield. Still no outs here in the top half of the 8th inning. Robertson gets set. Out of the stretch, delivers. Almost showed bunt, but kind of held it back, called strike 1. Now Burry looks back to the dugout, gets a sign. Nods his head a little bit and steps back into the batter's box. Oh, 1, he shows bunt, fails to lay it down. They're going to say he went around as well, so now the count's 0-2. Didn't really look like Burry wanted to put that one down, to be completely honest. It kind of looked like he held the bunt out there, then realized the pitch was too high and froze.
Yeah, some reason did not pull the bat back.
0-2. Out of the stretch. High and outside, 1-2 the count. Burry 2 for 4 so far on the day. He's got 2 doubles to his names and a run to his name and a run scored. He's also grounded out to second base twice.
You know, because he didn't pull that bunt back, 2 strikes, now you can't lay down the bunt with no outs.
Fouls one almost right back at the camera to stay alive, and 1-2 remains the count. Burry steps back into the box, taps the plate, spins his bat. Robertson looks ready to go, delivers out of the stretch, the 1-2 just outside, 2-2 the count. The breeze has come back here at Jackie Robinson Field. We mentioned it's kind of intermittent. You can see the flag moving just a little bit. But we are completely out under the darkness now, underneath the lights here. As Robertson delivers the 2-2, fouled off once again out of play. And, you know, if I had parked on the street, that might have hit my windshield. Good thing I carpooled here.
You know, you mentioned completely under nightfall now, you know, with the sun going down. I mentioned at the start of the broadcast, 74 degrees at first pitch. It is now 64 degrees, so in the last 2 hours and 20 minutes, it's dropped a nice 10 degrees.
Robertson gets Bury looking.
Now batting
Yeah, it's
for
a
the Blues,
10-degree drop in 2
baseman,
hours.
number 43,
Not necessarily
Tyson
the
Corio,
friendliest,
number
especially to the
43.
people in the stands watching this one, not able to keep moving, keep themselves warm. That is Robertson's 3rd strikeout looking tonight. He's got 4 total. No, he's got 3 total, excuse me. The 4th total was credited to Bullinger. So now with 1 down here in the top of the 8th. Blues once again still down 6-5. Robertson trying to keep the lead. Delivers the first pitch to Corio. Misses low and outside. And now Corio's getting a sign from the dugout. Robertson definitely takes his time out there on the mound. Not trying to rush through anything. Looks back the runner 3 times. Now holds the look. Delivers out of the stretch. Ground ball to the shortstop. Serratos fields. Fires over to first and gets the out. Runners move to 2nd and 3rd, but there are now 2 down here in the top half of the 8th inning.
Your attention, please. Now batting for the Blues, first baseman, number 16,
So that's
Rumfield.
Brendan Kemps
Number
on
16.
3rd base, Ryan Cole on 2nd base. Toby, or TJ, Rumfield, steps up to the plate.
On that last play, really good job by Serratos, kind of playing double play depth, moved to the hole to his right, was able to make a running throw to first to be able to get Corio just in time.
Showing off his range and definitely his arm was Serratos on that play. Rumfield 0 for 4 entering this at-bat. This would be the perfect time for him to turn it around as he launches this one high in the air, shallow left field. Getting underneath it is Harrigan, and he makes the play, gets the out, and that will retire the side in the top half of the 8th inning. The Saints almost get in trouble, but manage to get themselves out of it. Robertson gets himself out of it with a 6-5 lead as we head to the home half of the 8th inning. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to opening day for the Arroyo Seco Saints on the official network of Arroyo Seco Baseball.
Number 3.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the home half of the 8th inning. The Saints have a 6-5 lead, but I'm sure they're looking to add some insurance runs here as Oscar Serratos leads things off for them. Serratos' first pitch found the strike zone, 0-1 to him. The 0-1 takes a cut, swung on and missed. Ball was in the dirt, but he still chased. Now 0-2 the count.
And we noticed in these 3 at-bats so far for Serratos, it's a free swinger. Singled in 1 at-bat and has struck out swinging his other 2, so he's not going to go down without a fight.
0-2, thought about it. Everything but the bat went. Manages to hold back, though, and the count moves to 1-2. 1-2 delivery. Cut straight back off the fencing around home plate. So count remains 1-2. Delivery from Bullard. Finds the strike zone, strikes out looking. And the broadcaster's jinx is alive and well once again.
Are we keeping tab? How many have you jinxed? How many have I jinxed?
I'm pretty sure we're even right now. I'm pretty sure we're even at 2 apiece, maybe 3 apiece. Regardless, here comes Tito Robles to the plate. He is 1 for 3 so far with a ground out to short and a ground out to the pitcher. Takes the first one, finds the strike zone though, and it's 0-1. Oh, excuse me, I was reading Thomas McCarthy's line. He's still 0 for 2, but he's reached base once. He had a walk and scored a run as Robles watches the next one low and inside. Robles is 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts swinging, but he walked in the second inning, came all the way around to score. One from Bullard. Just outside, 2-1 the count. Bullard really likes to try and target that low outside corner with his fastball, and I can't blame him. It's a good pitch. It really forces the batter to try and have to reach out, and usually when you have to reach down there, you can't get too much power behind it. The 2-1, fouled straight back once again. Counts even at 2. Robles looks like he's in a little bit of discomfort after that swing. Kind of winced as he swung the bat once, and now he steps back up to the plate.
And that low outside fastball, it's also one that kind of can freeze a batter.
We see it again there, and it does exactly that. Strike 3 called on Robles, and that's back-to-back strikeouts looking for the Saints as Serratos and Robles are sent down the same way, and now Thomas McCarthy, the catcher, will step up to the plate, trying to get something going so the Saints can add on to their lead a little bit. Otherwise, it'll be a 1-run lead going into the 9th inning. Bullard delivers the first pitch. In the dirt, ball 1. Now Bullard delivers again. It's not really a windup that he comes out of as he misses 2-0. It's kind of like a modified stretch. He never fully faces the batter, but at the same time, he's not standing perpendicular. It's almost like a 3/4 body stance. Comes out of that modified windup, 2-0 outside. And now the count is 3-0. At this point, McCarthy's got to be thinking take all the way. 3-0 delivery to him in the dirt, and he gets a 4-pitch walk after Bullard strikes out the first 2 in this inning looking.
Now batting for the Saints, right fielder David Reyna.
Now, Bullard has kind of been sort of a hit or miss guy as he's been in. And he's walked 2 batters, but he's also struck out 4. He's actually thrown 21 balls and compared to only 19 strikes. So he's making his strikes effective, but he's falling behind in a lot of counts.
A little bit of an interruption out of the dugout from the Blues, but everything's back to normal. First pitch to Reyna, fouled straight back. Now it's an 0-1 count. There was a fairly decent crowd here for opening day for the Saints, but as the temperature has dropped, like we mentioned, it started to thin out, retreating to the warmth of their cars or the home. As the 0-1 from Bullard is fouled straight back once again, and Reyna's in trouble 0-2. Bullard 1 pitch away from getting out of this inning. Out of the stretch, freezes Reyna. The entire Blues dugout wanted strike 3 called, but it missed just inside.
And at the end of the day, it's just that one man making those balls and strike calls.
That's very true. The umpire nodded yes when one of the players shouted out, "That's a great pitch." The 1-2 in the dirt, throw down to second. The tag not in time as McCarthy pulls some fancy footwork to get out of the way, and he in fact steals second base. Wow, not exactly a base-stealing threat out there, but Thomas McCarthy does his best and ends up getting the stolen base. I guess when you're a catcher and you see that done to you a lot, you learn new tricks. Count 2 apiece, the delivery. Popped up in foul territory. Kemps takes about 4 or 5 steps, realizes it's not in play anymore, and kind of just puts his mask back on and heads back over behind home plate.
You know, in that whole situation with the stolen bases, you know, one thing I learned in high school, it's hard to do, but the thing is you want to tag the front of the base because that's where the base runner has to go. And sometimes, you know, you get caught trying to tag, reach out and tag the guy, and he ends up getting a foot in.
And that's exactly what happened as the 2-2 in the dirt slowly gets away from Kemps, but he's able to keep it mostly in front. He keeps McCarthy at second regardless. So now full count to Reyna. Runner in scoring position. Once again, the Saints trying to tack on an insurance run here. Low and outside, and he walks back-to-back batters. Reyna doing a good job battling back from, I believe he was down 0-2 in that count.
Second baseman.
So now Justin Watari will come up to the plate, and he is 1 for 3. He's scored 2 runs. He has a walk and a single. He scored in the first inning and in the 7th inning. He is responsible for the, or rather he was the game-tying run. Morgan Allen ended up scoring the go-ahead run. So now Watari. First pitch to him, grounded up the middle. Good diving play to stop it and keep it in the field. And the toss over to second base is in time. What a play by Corio. And Watari was about 3 to 4 inches away from tacking another run on the scoreboard for the Saints, but Corio said, "I'll have none of that, thank you." As we head to the 9th inning, the Saints are up 6-5. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Matt Berner and Mitch LaFave on opening day here for the Arroyo Seco Saints. Top of the 9th inning here at Jackie Robinson Field. The Saints lead the Blues by a score of 6-5.
Your attention, please. Leading off for the Blues,
Coming to the plate
number
is
31,
Duke Paukoa,
Pahukoa.
who will try to get things going. First pitch to him, misses inside, ball 1.
Zachary Griggs out of the bullpen here to close things out for the Saints.
Griggs taking the time, getting his sign. Still pitching out of stretch regardless of there being no one on base. Line straight up the middle. Not going to be able to get up underneath it is Tressler. He'll field it off a bounce, and that's a leadoff single for Paukoa, and
Your
that's
attention, please.
his second hit of the
For the
game.
Blues, number 9, Nick Hansen.
And sometimes a line drive to you as an outfielder, balls that coming right at you are the toughest to read. You know, just kind of got to sit back, see if you can get a little bit of read on that spin. And fortunately for the Saints, Tressler just wasn't able to get a quick enough read on it, dropped in.
Ball gets by McCarthy. Advancing to second, turning, and deciding not to go to third was Paukoa. So now there's a runner in scoring position, and that is the game-tying run if the Blues can find a way to bring him home. Griggs waiting for his sign. Delivers the 1-0. In the dirt, McCarthy does a good job keeping it in front. And now the count moves to 2-0. So the final line for Robertson this evening was 2 1/3 innings pitched, 2 hits, no runs, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts. So now Griggs will try and keep that going and possibly get a save here. 2-0, gets a swing and a miss out of Nick Hansen, and now the count is 2-1.
Hansen's got 2 hits on the night. He's singled and also doubled down the right field line. So I know he's capable of being able to drive in that run from second.
2-1 delivery from Griggs. A little bit of a check swing. The pitch found the strike zone regardless. So the count is even at 2. Two. Griggs delivers. Swung on and missed. And McCarthy keeps it in front. He'll throw down to first. Records out number 1. Thanks to the strikeout swinging out of Nick Hansen.
Your attention, please.
And Griggs has 1 down.
For the Blues,
Really good job from Griggs to bounce back, not only after giving up a leadoff single, but also that wild pitch on the first pitch of that at-bat.
now batting number 15.
Moving
Brett
Paukoa to
Harris.
second, able to bounce back, strike the batter out.
Number 15.
Griggs coming from UTSA, University of Texas San Antonio. Only pitched 10 innings this year, as his first pitch is high and inside. Brian Knapp, the new batter in the game for the Blues. He takes over for Mortensen. And the 1-0 misses low in the dirt. Griggs was his high school's offensive MVP twice. Now we're seeing him on the defensive end of things as his 2-0 misses low and outside. McCarthy had to make a great play to keep it in front. As I've been saying, Griggs, I believe, is a converted player, or converted fielder into a pitcher. He did not pitch his freshman year of college as his 3-0 finds the strike zone at Medina, or excuse me, he did pitch his freshman year of college. He did not pitch his senior year of high school. He only came in a couple times and had a 2.0 ERA in that senior season. He only pitched 2/3 of an inning his freshman year. As his 3-1 gets past McCarthy, Paukoa will advance to third base. It's a walk for Brian Knapp.
Your attention, please. Now batting for the Blues, number 3.
But the game-tying run is now 90
Mercado,
feet away.
Number 3.
And Zach Griggs is going to have to figure his way out of this one. Timeout being called. The Saints will take this time to talk things over with Griggs. They're not going to pull him out of this game. You got to show confidence in him. But man, he's starting to get into a little bit of a pickle here. Runners on the corners, 1 down. The Blues literally just need to put the ball in play here in order to tie this game up.
I think this meeting on the mound is kind of, just kind of trying to calm Griggs down. Looks like he's really trying to overthrow a lot of his pitches so far this inning. A lot of balls, low and in the dirt. McCarthy's had to get down and try and block quite a few pitches this inning. They're trying to stay on top of the pitch. Don't try and overthrow. Just, do your job.
Well, the pep talk is done. That's about all you can do as a coach. Just go out there and let the players know you believe in them. Now it's time for the players to execute. Griggs on the mound. First pitch to Ruben Mercado. High for ball 1. Once again, the intermittent breeze has stopped. The 1-0 delivery popped up in the air. It could still be in play, and no, it's just out of play past the Blues dugout. So the count moves to 1-1. That's about the only way that they could have retired Mercado on a batted ball without a run scoring. One from Griggs. In the dirt, now it's 2-1.
So far this inning with Griggs, 9 balls compared to only 6 strikes thrown so far.
2-1. Swung on and missed, and Mercado really liked that pitch. He thought about throwing his bat, but he decides to hold on to it. 2-2 the count. Mercado stretches out, puts the bat across home plate. Count even at 2. Delivery from Griggs. Swung on and missed. Pitch was in the dirt. Tag was applied to Mercado, and now there's 2 down here in the top half of the 9th inning. And Griggs is 1 out away from getting out of this.
I was about to say we haven't seen any ground ball double plays turn this game, and Saints could have really benefited from that. But Griggs with the strikeout now just needs really anything in play to be able to get that out.
And Griggs will have to face a pinch hitter here for the Blues, so Brendan Kemp's day is done. That is Matt Kimura out of Colorado Christian. First pitch to Kimura in the dirt. Taking advantage of it and moving over to second base is Knapp. So now Griggs settled down. 1-0 from him. Swung on and missed by Kimura, and now the count is even at 1. Kimura grew up in Honolulu, Hawaii. 1-1, a little too high, 2-1 the count. It's got to be a pretty cool place to call a hometown.
Yeah, it would be nice.
That would be pretty awesome.
Not complaining growing up here in Southern California, but
yeah, that's fair. We did grow up in Southern California. I'm sure we I'm sure there are
don't have
plenty of
much to
people.
complain about, but then Hawaii, it's a whole nother level.
The 2-1 swung on and missed. Gets a chase off the bat of Kimura. And now the count's even at 2. So the Blues down to their final strike here with Griggs on the mound. Paakua at third base. Knapp on second. Griggs on the mound, Kimura at the plate. Now Griggs calls timeout, calls his catcher out to him. And you can't really fault him. This is probably the most important pitch he's thrown so far this inning.
You also just want to make sure a guy on second base isn't relaying any type of signs to the batter, especially, like you said, in this type of count.
Doesn't really look like it. He's more busy fixing his pants. Griggs delivers the 2-2. Low and outside. So the count is full with 2 down here in the top half of the 9th inning. And the Blues are down to their final strike. But with that said, the tying run is 90 feet away. And the go-ahead run is standing 180 feet away.
You have a base open, but you don't really want to lose this guy.
Full count pitch, fouled straight back. Good play by the batter in the on-deck circle. That's Ryan Cole to field it off the fence.
And, Griggs, again, not required to necessarily throw a strike. You do have first base open, but also on deck you got Ryan Cole, who's had quite a few hits so far.
He's 4 for 4. You don't really want to face that. Payoff pitch. Griggs gets a ground ball to second base, fielding it and throwing over to first cleanly to get the final out of the game was Watari, and the Saints escape this one with a 6-5 victory. Griggs comes in, kind of scares the fans a little bit, but gets a save.
That's it. Final score, Saints 6, Blues 5.
So once again, the Saints win on opening day. Their record goes to 1-0. The San Luis Obispo Blues record moves from 1-1 to 1-2. Every time I say their name, I almost say St. Louis Blues. Every single time.
I think I said it at the beginning of the broadcast. I don't know if I was able to catch myself before I finished saying it, but I was either like 90% through it or I completely said St. Louis Blues.
This now moves the Saints into possession of first place in the CCL. Granted, they're only a half game up of the Riptides, who are 1-1. And of course, we have to see the pending results from this evening's matchups between all the rest of the teams in the league. Regardless, though, the Saints are off to the right start. They are 1-0 now, thanks to this 6-5 victory. Now, if you had to give player of the game to someone on the Saints, who would you give it to?
I mean, for me, it's got to be, forget his, why am I forgetting his name? Left fielder.
Oh, you're talking about Andy Garriola.
Garriola.
Andy Garriola drove in a couple runs, including the go-ahead run.
Yeah, drove in the run in the first inning, drove in the go-ahead run in the 7th inning. Really putting good swings on the ball all day. Credit to him.
Like you said, Garriola 2 for 4 on the day, 2 RBI singles, and both, of course, Saints, both of those were RBI singles. He had 2 RBIs on the day. So there you hear it here. You heard it here. Garriola was the player of the game on opening day. The Saints are 1-0. They get off to the right start. Griggs gets the save. The win, I believe, goes to Robertson. And then, of course, the loss goes to Bullard.
One thing I have about this game, while Saints pitchers gave up 5 runs on 14 hits, they did a pretty good job of limiting a lot more potential damage. Final line score for the Blues, 5 runs on 14 hits, but they left 13 men on base. So they had a lot more opportunities to be able to bring some guys home, especially in this last inning. Got runners on second and third, tying and go-ahead run, and just kind of clutch pitching with 2 outs.
I would have to say that's probably the difference between these two teams. Like you said, 13 people left on base for the Blues. For the Saints, it was only 7. About half the people left on base, and that just goes to show, if you bring home your runs, you finish the job, you're going to get the win, and that's what the Saints did. They come away with this 1-run victory, and like I said, I've said it a couple times now, they're off on the right foot. we're going to have to see what they can do tomorrow against Conejo. And then, of course, it's kind of like a 2-game series against Conejo. It's a home and home.
Home and home.
So they'll be hosting Conejo Oaks tomorrow, and then they'll be traveling to Conejo on Saturday. Mitch and I will be on the call on Saturday, so make sure to join that. Make sure to listen tomorrow as well as the Saints look to improve to 2-0. At this time, we'd like to thank everyone that made this broadcast possible, and of course, all of you people who have been listening and enjoying Arroyo Seco baseball with us. We'd like to thank you for tuning in. For the final time tonight, for Mitch Lefebvre and Matt Berner. Oh, excuse me. For Mitch Lefebvre, I'm Matt Berner, not Matt Berner. Signing off and saying good night.